Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we'll be going over a lightweight AR build. Now this isn't going to be some super fancy couple grand, 4.95 pound rifle. However, it should be significantly lighter than a standard AR-15. So what we'll do is we'll put this thing together, we'll go over everything and do all that, and then we'll compare it side by side with another AR that I have that's just, run-of-the-mill, regular old AR, nothing lightweight about it, just standard parts. And then we'll go on to something like this that had a little bit more of a purpose behind it, and I chose specific parts to cut down on weight and save the ounces where I could. So let's hit some B-roll. Let's see what we got to work with here, and then we'll talk about it. All right, guys, so just showed you what we're working with here. So just to kind of talk about it a little bit, I guess. So here we have just a regular mil-spec Anderson lower, and I do have an RTG grip on it. So everything else is mil-spec, buffer tube, trigger, and then just a regular Anderson lower, nothing special about it. All right. Here we have the MFT minimalist stock. So this thing, pretty much one of the lightest ones I could find that still had the adjustability, so it can still 6-position adjustability. They do have options out there that are very minimal, and they're going to be fixed position stocks, if you will. So they'll go into whatever setting they go into, and then that's it. They pretty much just this back piece here, and that's just to put into your shoulder, and that's all they have. But I did want to have a little bit of functionality with it, so that's what I'm saying. This isn't going to be the lightest build that you can get out there, but I feel like it cuts down the weight significantly, but still gives you all the functionality that you're used to with any of your other ARs. All right, I got a bare bones Anderson stripped upper here. Now this one doesn't have the forward assist, doesn't have an ejection port cover option. It's just bare bones. Love it. Didn't need all that extra, those extra ounces, because all these ounces are going to add up to pounds. All right. Spring-Kill reduced power spring, Anderson 3-ounce buffer. That pretty much takes care of that. This is their lightweight BCG. So basically what it does is the bolt itself is fine. The carrier is just skeletonized and gets rid of that mass that you don't need. So they cut that out, and so, from all the research I've done, functionality is not affected. However, to combat any issues we may have, I went ahead and got the Seekins Precision adjustable gas block. So this will give me the ability to mess with the gas settings. That way, if there is, cycling issues a little bit because of reducing mass and things like that, I can get it dialed in. I didn't want to take the chance just getting a standard gas block that's not adjustable. It would have been cheaper, but spend a little bit more money to give myself some room for error. All right. Here I have a no name. So this is just an off-brand M-Lock handguard, free flow handguard. So with the barrel nut included, this thing weighs right at 9 ounces. It was advertised as 8.3 ounces. However, it comes in at 9, which, yeah, normally wouldn't be a big deal on any other rifle that I was going to be putting together, but when you're specifically searching for the lightest parts, that was pretty upsetting. Reason I chose this unbranded option over many of the others is for those ounces, for the lightweight options out there. Anything else close would have been over $100. This one came in at $40, $40. So time will tell how it holds up. However, I mean, for what I'm going to be using this thing for, it's not going to be like some duty setup. It's going to be like a range gun, throw around, carry around the property. I really wanted to build something lightweight for when I go back to North Carolina. Just throw it in the side-by-side, four-wheeler, whatever, and just have something with me that's a little bit more capable than a handgun. Just in the event some craziness pops off while I'm out doing stuff. Just wanted to have something light, throw around, not taxing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's why I went with that. All right, so for the barrel, I went with the Faxon Firearms 16-inch pencil barrel. So very thin profile. Not sure how much you could tell on camera there, but this thing is very light. So this was advertised as 1.2 pounds. However, it weighed in at 1.34 pounds. So 1.4 ounces heavier than advertised. Again, normally wouldn't be a big a deal. However, when you're purpose building something, it's annoying when companies just blatantly lie about their weights. Just, everybody's trying to compete and be like, oh, we're lighter, we're lighter, we're lighter. So they just put whatever bullshit they want in their product description. I get it, manufacturing process differences, blah blah blah. But Faxon pumps out these like a dime a dozen. You can get it down to where it should weigh what it says it's going to weigh. End of the rant. All right, we just got a standard Aero Precision mid-length gas tube here. Nothing crazy. All right, muzzle device. This is the FIREARMS. Really didn't really care about the muzzle device. Could have just got a standard A2 bird cage. This later on, if I do want to run a suppressor, accepts that option. And it was the smallest, lightest option that I found out there. So really the only reason I went with it. And it looks pretty cool, I guess. Whatever. All right. Backup sights. These are polymer ATI flip-ups. I have these on a lot of my rifles. They're awesome. They're super cheap. They're like $30, and they get the job done. They hold up well, and I've never had one come loose or come off. A lot of polymer sights out there. People complain about them, loosening up, falling off the rail, not really fitting the rail appropriately. Again, never had an issue with these ATIs, and super cheap. So it's a win-win. All right. Optics. So for this guy, I have the UTG Super Slim RMR mount, which then tells you that I'm going to be mounting an RMR styled sight onto this weapon. Why an RMR pistol style sight? Well, it's lightweight and it works. So this is going to give me plenty of field of view. I don't need, super huge reticle for a lightweight AR build. And then this riser right here, we'll put it at the appropriate eye level. I'm not going to be using the little low riser mounts that come with these things as like backup sights. This is going to be the primary optic for this AR, and I'm going to go ahead and slap it on this UTG mount, which should give me a lower 1/3 co-witness with my irons, my polymers, if you will. All right. And the last thing for this to be a functional weapon, so everything here is for this thing to just be bare bones functional. So I got QD mount because my sling doesn't come with them. So this is a Edgar Sherman design. This is their ESD sling. Super simple sling, made well. A lot of videos on this thing. It's been out for quite a few years now, but I haven't seen a negative review on it yet. Super simplistic, not a lot of moving parts, which is perfect for this, and it's going to get the job done. And then I just got a no-name QD mount here just to attach it. So that is everything I need to be considered a functional weapon. Now, I do have some accessories that we're going to go over in a minute once I get this thing together, and those I don't deem as essentials, but I do deem them as nice to haves to make it just that more capable in all aspects of when you want to use. We're going to put this together as is here with the parts we've gone over, weigh it, then we'll add those other couple of accessories, weigh it again. That way we can give the, here's what I think, a sling is essential, sights are essential, and then obviously everything else here is to actually just put it together and make it a freaking weapon. So I don't think an optic and a sling is optional. These are, you have to have these. You might as well not have a bolt if you don't have these things. You know what I mean? So that's just my personal opinion. If you don't think so, you just need irons, then hey, you saved yourself, this much weight here. You don't need a sling. Cool, you saved that. However, for me, backup sights, primary optic, and a sling are a must-have. And then we'll go over those optional accessories, like I said, in a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on a time lapse, put this thing together, and see what we got. Let's go. All right, guys, so here we have it. This is the complete build with what I feel is the essential items that it has to have. So I do have a couple of other accessories, but before I add them, I want to weigh it just like this. And let me tell you, this thing's feeling pretty light. And I want to see what it weighs like this. And then we'll go over those other two additional items that are the nice to haves. Like, I don't feel like I need it to be functional for like everyday use, but it does increase the usability in other situations. So let's go ahead and weigh this real quick and see what we got. All right, guys, so we're back. We haven't taken anything off. We haven't added anything. It does have a bolt in there, just so you guys see. All right, so let's see how much the lightweight build weighs. All right, here's both my hands, so you know I'm not holding it. So it weighs in at 5 pounds, 9.3 ounces. So 5 pound, 9 ounces, under 6 pounds. That was my goal with a relatively budget build because people spend a lot of money on lightweight setups. So 5.93. Now, just for comparison, because some of you will be like, my AR weighs 6 pounds, blah, blah, blah. Like, all right. Probably not, but okay. All right, so here I have my Peasant Elite build, and it doesn't have a lot of stuff on it. So it's got the same backup irons. It's got a Romeo 5, and the only addition that this has is a micro hand stop and a light. So let's go ahead and see what this weighs in at. Let me get this, I'm gonna wrap this sling around the optic. So sorry, this one doesn't balance as well. I'm holding it with my hand right this second. All right, let me balance it and then I'm gonna let off. All right, 1, 2, 3. So 7.13 ounces. 7 pounds, 13 ounces. So that's a lot heavier, dudes. That is over 2 pounds heavier than the lightweight setup. And you know, you might not think 2 pounds is a lot when you're thinking about, you know, just weight, like, oh, I can carry that all day. Like, yeah, you probably can. That's what we have slings for and stuff. But I wanted something purpose built, super lightweight. This pencil barrel, man, just that upper, when I put it on, I was like, holy crap, that weighs like nothing. It literally, there's nothing there. It's pretty awesome. So brings me to my next point that I want to talk about. The extra accessories that I did not put on, but we may, are a hand stop. So this is the Strike Industries mini hand stop, and a just cheap budget lightweight light from Amazon. So this is a guard tier M104, 1200 lumens. It was the lightest, most output light I could find, like for a budget. So we'll see what it weighs and go ahead and put it on. All right, guys. So we got the light added, and we got the Strike Industries mini hand stop added there, and I think we're still going to be under 6 pounds. So also got the pressure pad, just in case you were wondering. M-Lock pressure pad that came with it. Nice. All right, so I'm thinking we're still under 6 pounds because we were at what, 5 pounds and 9 ounces. So let's see what we are at now. All right, hands are off. It is 5 pounds, 15 ounces, 15 and a half. So we are still under the 6 pound mark, which is awesome because if you remember, now I have the same capabilities as the Peasant Elite here with the weapon light and the hand stop there. And this thing was what, 7 pounds, 13 ounces? Yeah, so 7 pounds, 13.3 ounces. So we're still almost 2 full pounds lighter with the exact same capability, just being a little bit smarter with the parts that we ordered and running a different optic setup that's obviously a lot lighter. This is just, a little RMR. But guys, 2 pounds, that's huge. That's huge, 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 especially a long day of training. Now we got to see if this thing actually functions and does what it's supposed to do. So let's get it. All right, guys, welcome back. So we're out at the range. We're going to test the lightweight build here. And I'm anticipating having a little bit of cycling issues. It might not, but I'm anticipating it because of the lightweight bolt and lighter spring and everything that we got going on with this thing, which is why I got the adjustable Seekins Precision gas block. So I'll be able to adjust it to give it more or less gas depending on what happens when I start firing around, seeing if the bolt cycles fully and if it does what it's supposed to do. So real quick, I want to shout out this Edgar Sherman design sling. This thing is so sleek. It has exactly what you need from it, and it's got a built-in keeper here. So you see how it's tight to the frame right now, and then pull it out and it's ready to go. You don't have to have any extra bands or anything on your rifle. So that really aids in helping this thing stay lightweight. And then the glide here is super smooth both ways. It doesn't have 2 different glides, one for up, one for down like some do, and it's not as slick and loose as the Magpul sling is. I really digging this thing. So let's get to I'm gonna do a 36-yard zero on this thing. Obviously I have a pistol optic, however it's not a big deal because it's on a rifle platform, so I'll be able to reach out and touch targets, no issues, just like any other standard red dot you would put on a rifle. So do a 36-yard zero, see how it cycles, and then we'll get into it and put some rounds through it and see how reliable it is, because it can be light as it wants to be, but if it doesn't function, then it's kind of worthless, right? So let's go. So sorry if you guys are picking up any wind. It is windy as crap out here, and as soon as I get away from the coast, it is about 20, 25 degrees hotter. So I'm gonna try to get this done and get the heck out of here. All right, so we've got it dialed in. Only took minor adjustments. So like I suspected, it wasn't cycling because it was being undergassed off the bat. A lot lighter setup, so just throws kind of things off from your normal AR setup. So went ahead and made those adjustments, and then it has a locking pin as well. So as soon as you get it adjusted where you want, then you lock down that other the other pin, and then the adjustment is set. It's good to go. It's not going to move. So we've got it where it's cycling, it's ejecting the round, doing everything it's supposed to do like normal. Wow. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and feed some rounds to it. I'm going to shoot a little bit rapidly just to see if it's reliable, it functions, it keeps feeding and does what it needs to do. Because again, it can be as light as it wants, it can be as cool as it wants, but if it doesn't function and do the things I need it to do, it's a paperweight. So got a mag of 30 here, and then I think a mag of like 17 or 18 or some craziness. And then I'm just gonna go through and cycle them and see what happens. So let's go. All right. Slow. Not a hiccup, not a one. I mean, granted, it was only like, what, 40 some rounds, 47, 48, or no, yeah, like 48 rounds. But hey, did what I needed to do. It's awesome, right? Thing freaking works. I can build shit. I'm good. I'm good like that. All right. So now I'm just gonna go run around, do some drills, play around, and just see how she does throughout the day. So let's get to it. Shangri-la-di-da. Shangri-la-di-da. Hi-ho, Silver, away! Yeah, Danny. All right, guys, so there you have it. This is my lightweight peasant Anderson build. So this thing comes in, again, 5 pounds, 15 ounces, exactly how you see it here, with backup sights, primary optic, a light, and a hand stop, all under 6 pounds. You're paying big money from like the higher brands to put something like that together. I think Faxon's is over $1,000, and theirs is like right at the 5 pound mark, and that's with no accessories at all. So once you start adding the same stuff I have on here, they're gonna obviously be over that freaking cost. Sorry, over that weight, plus the added cost of all the accessories on top of it. I've got, you know, well under that. I don't know the exact number, but I'm gonna say around, I don't know, $500-600 total into this thing. I did get the optic for free, so I can't really count that, so it is what it is. But the most expensive part was probably the barrel and the bolt. Rightfully so, I suppose. The barrel was like $180, and the bolt was about 160, 170, something like that. So those were my two biggest expenses for this build. Everything else was very budget, and some of the stuff I did have lying around. But, you know, it just goes to show that if you are willing to take the time, learn. I didn't always know how to put an AR together. I watched YouTube videos and figured it out. And if you're really just willing to put the effort in, you can build something that's super lightweight, competes with all the top brands, and it's built a lot better with a lot better parts. It's not mass produced. You actually did it yourself by hand, and you know that every part does exactly what it needs to do. Don't be scared to tinker around, guys. I mean, that's the whole point. Get into the gun hobby. Learn about your weapon. Don't just buy something off the shelf and just shoot it once a year and think that you're good to go. It's not. You need to understand how it works, why it works the way it does, how to make it work if it's not functioning the correct way. That way, if you do get into a situation where you have to use it, have to rely on it with your life, you can keep it employed. Because if it goes down and you're one of those guys who takes it to a gunsmith every time something goes wrong, sorry, the wind is crazy. If you're one of those guys who takes it to the shop every time something goes wrong, then you're not doing yourself any justice, right? So just stuff to think about. I'm not going to get on a rant and a soapbox about it, but yeah, guys. So if you want to know more, if you have questions about parts that you didn't see in the video, just go ahead and shoot me a comment down below, and I'll do my best to reply to it and get you those answers that you need. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.